This is Liberty of the Seas.
This guy don't drive good. Driver? Excuse me.
Sorry.
That's okay. We're here now.
Good morning. That's my oldest daughter, Sophia.
Yeah, no.
My youngest daughter, Kaylee. Their dad, Andre, and a friend that traveled with us here.
We were downstairs waiting to go. We should have made something.
We're in Bermuda.
Yeah. You're not tired. You had a whole 7 hours. Huh? One more sleep.
Just trying to make sure everybody's comfy. You know what I mean? And I don't want to sleep.
You want to see the picture?
Listen to the tour.
So, firstly, welcome to the island.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, on our way to town, we're going to point out some things here and there, some medicinal plants we use, some different ships and things like that. Tell you about the food. So, if you guys need the information center, just in case you guys come back and need it, that's it right there. Then the duty-free store will be on your left again. So this whole area is about 220 years old. So before, Dockyard was actually a very hilly area. And I'm actually going to show you guys a spot where you're going to be like, whoa, that's how high Dockyard was. So this area was used for farmland before they leveled it out and made it how it is. So on our left, this big blue thing that says Wise on it, that's actually the crane for the boat. So whenever a boat comes out the water, needs to hit the water, they'll use that big thing there. So coming up, you guys look to your right and up a little, there's gonna be a green bush up there. So that's how high some parts of Dockyard was before they excavated it and colored the rock out. And the same rock they used to excavate it, they actually used to build these walls. Some of them blocks are like 2 feet wide. And they still stand and nothing ever happens to these buildings. Sometimes the only thing that may happen is the roof might come off. But like during our hurricanes, we always have to have one window open and one window closed. I mean, both windows open, just so the breeze can actually flow through. So some people actually earn and live on houseboats right here in this area. And some people even rent Airbnbs. They rent some of these boats as Airbnbs.
Oh, wow.
This big building to our right-hand side, this is actually casemates. There used to be our first prison on the island. Now they're gonna make it a museum back here. It's been under renovation just for stability and to make sure it don't collapse or fall. So these big two cyclones right here are meant for the cement that's on the island. So we have to import all our cement, and this factory would actually just bake it up or even just put it in different trucks and things of that sort. This big area to our left-hand side, that was used for America's Cup of Sail GP. So that's a big race that goes all around the world. And they actually use that sun to our left to actually raise the boats. So on our right hand side, you can see some different color flowers, pink, orange, white. So these are early end of flowers. They're not our natural flowers, but they grow everywhere. A lot of people actually use them just for hedges because it makes a nice hedge that's actually real tall and it grows real wide and thick as well. So we're gonna be passing about 5 different bridges on our way into Hamilton. And one little and one stoplight before we get to the city. Bermuda don't have too much stoplights at all, other than in the city. So that's now we just passed the almond tree. So right now on the island we actually have like avocados. We have a fruit called a red orange. So a red orange is an orange. It looks like an orange, but it tastes like a lemon. So they call it red orange because it will kill you if you didn't know. And then we got things like passion fruit growing, mangoes growing. Yeah. So coming up on our right is a beach called the Glass Beach. So this glass beach is actually created from broken glass. And over the years, what happens is with the tides and the rocks and the sand, it actually sheds them down absolutely proper smooth. You ain't able to cut them at all. And on our way back, on our right hand side, is actually a structure that looks like two kissing elephants. So on our way back, I'm gonna slow down to this location just so you guys can take a sneak peek and actually see what I'm talking about. So that was actually
That water is so blue.
passed. So on this side of the island, you can actually swim out just about a quarter mile, just under a quarter mile, and you can still be able to stand on some salmon. So some of my brave friends, they actually stand on them and actually fish off of them. Because in this area, a lot of running fish. The running fish are like barracudas, wahoo, tunas. We had a marlin tournament the other day. And I think the biggest one, or the first one that was caught was actually 588 pounds.
What?
Yeah, they got big. They got real big. But that's just a sport fish anyways. I'm never ate a marlin once. Yeah. So right now, what's running on the island is like rockfish, tuna. You got a lot of snappers. And you guys can see by the different colors of the water, the different height of each water you put. Where it's lighter, the sand is actually higher to the water. Then where it's darker, it's actually way deeper. And then the brown spots are actually used like actually a reef. So reefs are important to us because they actually up to storm surge and hurricanes come. So when storm surges ain't so high and so crazy. But also in that same area, they actually raise the fish, actually raise the kids in that same area. So on our race coming up is a place called Rubens. So Rubens is one of 2 different gas stations. But each gas station is actually owned by a different family. Even though it says Rubens or Essos, it doesn't mean it's owned by 1 2 person or 2 groups. To our right here is a resort called Cambridge Beaches. So Cambridge Beaches has about 3 different restaurants, nice private beaches on that side. Yeah, it's beautiful. Resort. The big people want to resort. And that's a nice place to watch the sunrise. Because the sunrise is on the south side. I mean sunset. It's a nice place to rise on the sunset. So in all Bermuda, this bridge is actually our tallest bridge. It ain't that tall, but it is our tallest bridge. So when we grew up, we used to like go fishing off the dock to our left. And then like when it gets too hot, we have to just go up, climb up the bridge and just jump in the water. Because one thing we like to do on the island we love to cliff dive and things of that sort. So we actually have a place called Admiralty House. This is more near the city, about 15 minutes outside of the city, where there's a different rock heights. So growing up, when you're little, you jump off the dock, then you get to one rock height, and as you get older, you just test how brave you become. And me, I'm never got to the top one, but I'm got to the one just under the top one. But that's that's all we do during the summer when we are under the age of 13. Because after 13, your uncles or your dad is gonna take you and teach you a trade. Because you have to learn. That's one thing we do. Like from little, I learned how to cut stone, carpentry, masonry, things of that sort. So in this little section right here, this is like the little city of a little town in Somerset. So you have both your banks. Like Saturdays and Sundays, everything is pretty much closed, especially Sundays. Closed, like not open, especially Sundays. Especially on Sundays. Because everybody tries to have that one day off. Yeah. And then on Sundays in Bermuda, what we like to do is like kick back, and one traditional dish we have is coffee and potatoes. So just some soulfish, some potatoes, some green banana, some Johnny bread, some avocado, and a green and a yellow banana sometimes. And with like a nice tomato stew gravy or some onion butter gravy. That's like a traditional Sunday breakfast. And the thing is, also, if we don't eat all the coffee and potato, what we do is we take the coffee and potato, put some herbs in it, like some parsley, some thyme, some scallions, and just make it a patty, and then just fry it a little, and just have it as like a fish cake. So coming up on our left hand side, you're gonna see an orange and green building. So Bermuda don't have like no Americanized fast food places, only KFC. Other than KFC, we have nothing from America. So this Mr. Chicken is our fast food chain in Bermuda. But it's more similar like to Popeyes, where it's like actually a little bit spicy, but definitely crispy. And if you can taste, you love it. Like, you can really taste, you love it. So Marketplace is one of our grocery stores. Miss Ferrera probably does about 10 different stores across the island. And so they say our family was a part of the 40 Thieves. So where our host sits, she actually watches the dog. So to our left right here, this is the only multicolor house that I've ever seen in Bermuda. So many stories, I don't know the real story, so I don't really tell the story because I don't know the real story. We have a very lot of churches along the way. Like just from that one, if we went back maybe about 1 minute, we drove towards at least 5 different churches. I just lives in peace and harmony because everybody literally like your neighbor and you come over for his birthday. Like we all go to the same schools too. So it's not like we go to different schools where they're away from everybody. We all go to the same high school and the same middle school. So we all get to learn and from each other. So this resort right here is called Willowbank. So Willowbank is an older resort, and the property actually wraps around all these houses, then it comes back out at a point out here in Elis Harbor. So Elis Harbor is coming up in about 10 seconds. This is one of our smaller harbors. And you see a dock over there to the right hand side, that's how far Cambridge Beaches wraps around. And that dock down there was where I actually first learned how to fish. Because it's a good fishing area because the fish will come out from the deep ocean, come into this little area here, and we try to grab them before they leave. So on our left, can't see from her, but it's a fort. So this fort is called Fort Scour. So in Bermuda, we have about 100 different forts all across Bermuda. And some of them are older, some of them are newer. You can find different cannons at each location. Some 10 feet tall, some just little small cannons that the ship used to use. But the reason why we have so much forts on the island, because the Portuguese found the island first. But then they left. And then the Spanish came and found the island after the Portuguese and tried to settle, but they didn't work. They were just on a voyage, so they left. But then the British came, they was like, we like this place so much, we're gonna protect it as much as we can. I mean, whatever. Nothing ever came out of it because Bermuda had all the gunpowder, a lot of gunpowder in the world in the 1600s and things like that. But just like this area right here, some of these driveways and roads now were actually cut from mountains. So they had to chop the little mountain down to make access points. So on our right coming up in about 5 seconds, this is kind of some more muggish color water. So this color water is like you rarely find this on the island, only in bays. So the soil and the sand actually meet in these areas. So you can actually find calico clams in the same area. And also, if you in the same area, a lot of fish like the mangroves. So mangroves are important for fish raising as well. So coming up, we're going to be crossing the smallest drawbridge in the world.
Oh.
It only measures 21 inches wide. And the only reason it's that small is just for the mass of the sailboat to get through it. And you can still see the wood in the middle of it. You see brick around and then the wood in the middle of it. We don't use it today because we have all motorboats and all power boats. And if you're out sailing, you're out having fun, you'll need a shortcut. So this was actually a shortcut. The sailors used to have to sail about half a day to get to the city. So if that shortcut and that bridge is took probably like 2 hours instead of 12 hours. So the city of Hamilton where we're going was not always away. So on Saturdays you'll see a lot of young farmers out. Like he works another job, but he has a farm like I do also. So on the weekends or like Saturdays of the week, they just come set up and just sell some fresh produce. Yeah, right on the street. Like that's how we try to like to eat. And there's a lot of pumpkins on the island right now, a lot of carrots. So the government and the farmers in Bermuda actually have an agreement that they have to produce all the carrots. We don't import no carrots from no other place in the world. So other than like private frozen carrots. But even during other times of the year, like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbages, like different things, will go on the embargo just to ensure the farmers actually make their profit margin every single year. So we make sure we take care of our farmers on the island to make sure they're very profitable as well. And that guy there is probably like 73, but he also sells fruit trees and different trees from around the world. Then you can see some little farm area here. This is just a cover crop right now. They just cleaned it up. And there's pumpkins in this garden right there too. So Ace Hardware is probably the only other US thing that I know of that is on the island. So we also have about 5 different golf courses all around the island. We used to have a 6th one, but now that one is actually they actually sold different properties to different people. So even though the golf course, you just have like a house and you go to the golf course. There are a lot of land around and they make nice driveways and walkways so you can enjoy it. So like I was saying, the city of Hamilton wasn't always our city. St. George's was actually our first city. But St. George's from here is a little hour 30 minutes driving. So they had to change the location of the city to the city of Hamilton. But before the city was Hamilton, the governor was not in agreement with it at all. So they had to twist his wrist and like ask him and begging him, can you change it to the city? So he kept saying no. So what they told him was, if we put it as your name, if we name it City of Hamilton, like his last name, would you agree? He agreed one time. So he didn't twist his wrist at all. then on our right hand side is a beach called Whale Bay. So in the 17 and 1800s, we actually used to hunt whales. Hunt whales for meat and for oil. And it's a nice big slip. So during the month of March and April, these whales actually migrate across the island. So it was an easy catch for us. We didn't have to really go and look for them. They was actually just migrate across. So we would go around about a mile and just lure them in towards the island. And we also have a thing called a puppy shaw. So with this puppy shaw, what our ancestors used to do, they could take the liver from the puppy shaw and leave it in the sun. So it would drain all the oil out of it. So like for bad weather and things like that, we would have like this solution from the shaw and some water. So when the weather's like today, it will be split perfectly clear and then cloudy. But when the weather becomes bad, like hurricanes are coming or something like that, those solutions actually become one.
Ooh, gee.
So on our right hand side, you guys are gonna see some maroon and green color leaves. And then for the people on the left coming up, you're gonna on the right you can see them now. And then on the left, right here as well. So these leaves are called meshmeat and pecan leaves. So these leaves are actually medicinal use. So what we do, we soak them in alcohol for like about 6 hours. Let everything go in. But then, like for inflammation, you put on like an alcohol in your knee wherever area has so much fluid, and then you wrap it and make a hot tension, and leave it in there like that, and your inflammation actually ease off. No, we do a lot of bush medicine still on island. Yeah, like during flu season, like ginger, garlic, onion, everything, mash it up. Then we have a thing called rhubarb. Rhubarb is a small little leaf, but it grows like a weed. But if you get a cut or a sore, you just take it, you squeeze it, you juice the leaf, then you put the leaf on top of this small tube, and you just wrap it and leave it for 2 days. And then by that time it comes and it actually dries out. And then after it dries out, for the second part, you'll use aloe to help keep it moist. So now we are on South Shore. If you would have been straight, that would have been Middle Red. So we ain't got that many reds in Bermuda. That one red there, that Somerset Red. Then we have South Shore, North Shore, Middle Red, Harbor Red, then St. David's and St. George's Red. So Bermuda is a very easy place to maneuver around. If it's like first time, if you think that place is Nick St. Travis. So this area is actually called Church Bay. So a lot of people come here for snorkeling and things of this sort. And a lot of the other people come here during the time the whales come across. They actually come and watch the whales come up there. And the same time the whales come to the island, longtails come. You're gonna see some white birds with long tails. So these are called longtails. And they actually vacation here on the island for 8 months of the year. Have their kids and fly off and leave for 4 months. Yeah, they live on the water. So how these birds actually dig the nest, they actually use the beaks and pack it to the limestone and dig a small hole and they'll make it bigger and bigger. But one thing I can say, longtails don't play about their children. If I found a bird's nest one time when I was like 13, and I thought I would be inquisitive. This thing started swiping and trying to bite my ears off. So I learned from there and started talking to the kids. So this resort to right where there is called the Reefs. So even though Bermuda is not a Caribbean country, Forbes magazine, Times magazine, all these magazines consider us a Caribbean country. So that resort right there actually won Resort of the Year in the Caribbean 3 times in all its existence. And it's a family-owned business as well. Mr. D, the gentleman stays next door, he's the owner. Then his daughter and his son. His daughter does the interior design, and his son runs nighttime. So in Bermuda, we don't have that many truck stops. So we don't really have truck stops like that, like other places. But this marine building right here is Harris, and then the smaller one in front is Harris Pantry. So Harris Pantry is like around like 11:30, 12 o'clock. A lot of people go and stop there buy birds, chicken eggs, chicken sandwiches, fish sandwiches, and just small little things. And then to our left is a resort called Southampton Princess. So Southampton Princess is under renovation. It opens back up in spring 2026. So it's gonna have over 600 rooms. It's gonna have villas on the golf course, beach clubs, steakhouse, Italian. It's gonna have a lot of different things. Basketball court, tennis court. Yeah. Yeah. So the area of course right now is actually the Horseshoe Bay area. So this is like the start of all beaches. So from here you can literally walk and just walk. Sometimes you might have to walk up rocks or through some trails, but it's a continuous path. Almost all the way to Elbow Beach. I'll point it out a little later on. But even during the summer when we don't want to run in the sun, it's these canopies, trees, that trails. So this area right here is called Soap. Just for this area Soap. Because it's on South Shore and this blue building right here is Southampton Rangers. So this is like a football team and our cricket team. So right now cricket is what's running right now on the island. Even though football training has started because football season starts in September. But next week Friday, Thursday and Friday we have a 2-day cricket tournament. Somerset will be Wolves and Dockyard at the other end of the island. It's like one of my most favorite times of the year because the whole island literally shuts down. And it just vibes and parties all day long. So in between the water and this river here, that was where I was talking about the canopy trails would be running through like that. So we don't have no army, but we do have a Bermuda regiment. They do trainings all around the world, Caribbean, America, Canada. So they do all the proper training. But most times they're used for like certain things that need some policing, especially during hurricanes, when trees are down. But one thing I say about this island, when things do happen, we all come together, especially during hurricane times. Everybody, if they have a chainsaw or machete or something, they're coming out first thing in the morning and they can clear the road. So sometimes ambulances still gotta come through. So sometimes we come out and ensure that if there is an emergency after something happens, they can get through. That's why you see most of the power lines, the trees are not so close. On this side, there's little bits here and there. But about this month and next month, they'll actually be cutting the trees back from the wires. So this is one of our very few playgrounds that we have on the island. It's called War Playgrounds. And a lot of this island is still untouched. We have a lot of untouched territories. And we try to keep it like that. And we even also have a part of the island where a mass of water is actually protected too. So you can't even fish in this area. And that's in Harrington Sound. So in Harrington Sound, they say that's really known for the volcano is. And with the stalagmites and stalactites in the caves, researchers say Bermuda's like over 2 million years old, but whoever knows? Whoever knows? And in that same area, in Harrington Sound, they say it's like 22-foot marinas inside of it. And some of the bigger fish and bigger beings also. So this big area on our right is actually Absol Park. So Absol Park is a nice place for fishing as well, catching rockfish. And also during Easter, what we do, we come fly kites in this area because there's no wires. Because we try not to fly in neighborhoods that have a lot of wires because sometimes it might make power outages and things like that. Even though some neighborhoods, like my neighborhood, we have all underground wiring. So there's no street lights, nothing like that in my neighborhood. So one of the places I was seeing is a vast amount of land. So this area to our right and to our left, this is called Sultans. So even if we can earn it, but now government is it. So through these gates, it's about 32 acres of just untouched land and about 6 houses. And a lot of people like to come and take pictures underneath these roots. Because these trees create these nice root structures. So sometimes people will go down and take nice weather pictures or before babies born pictures, things like that. And we also have some community farms as well, because not everybody has enough room for property and for space to plant. So some areas they'll rent out a square footage, I don't know how much it is, but they'll still be able to do what they gotta do. Yeah. Most of these homes are old private houses or family land. And some people actually own about 8 different houses on the panel they invested when they were younger. And also maybe like how much kids they have, because like some people will buy a house for each child. So when that child grows up, they either can sell it, or they can get the rent from it, or they can